Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael, and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a throwaway account in the relationship advice subreddit. The post is titled, "My best friend kissed my husband and it's destroying me. I am 28 years old and have been with my husband, who is 27, for 6 years. We have been married for 4 years and have 2 children, a 3-year-old girl and another girl who is almost 1. Everything in our relationship is perfect for us. He is the best husband and father I could have asked for. I am absolutely in love with him, and his actions and words have always shown me that he feels the same way. There is no better feeling than going to sleep in his arms every night." Last weekend, my husband and I had some friends over for a barbecue. We were all outside in the backyard, surrounding my husband, who was at the grill. As the food got closer to being ready, we all started sitting at our backyard table. Once all the food was ready and on the table, my husband went inside to use the washroom and get another case of beer. I did not realize that my best friend, who is also 28, had followed him. When he was coming back out, my best friend hid behind the wall separating our kitchen and living room and surprised him by pulling him in and forcing a kiss. My husband immediately pushed her back and yelled, "What the fuck?" She immediately started crying, ran out of the house, and left. My husband came back into the backyard and asked to speak to me privately, immediately telling me what had just happened. I was shocked and told him that it would be okay and that we could talk after everyone else left. I managed to put on appearances for the next couple of hours, but I was mentally distraught. After everyone left, my husband sat me down and told me what happened again and showed me the footage from our living room camera. It was exactly as my husband had described it. My best friend of 10 years, the person I treated as my literal sister, forcibly kissed my husband. After our third date, she was the one I told that I was going to marry him. She knows how much I love him and how strong our relationship is, and still she chose to try to come between us. For goodness sake, our 3-year-old calls her auntie. My best friend tried showing up the next day just to talk, and my husband had to hold me back from attacking her. He kicked her out and told her not to come back. It has been almost a week now, and I am nowhere close to moving on. I do not blame my husband one bit. He is completely innocent in this, and if anything, he is the victim. I have been lying down on my husband's chest and just crying every day and night. I am so angry and frustrated and do not know what to do. My husband has been amazing, and like always, he just gets it and understands how I am feeling. He has brought me flowers almost every day and cooked my favorite meals multiple times in the last few days. I love and appreciate him all the more for it. I just do not know how I'm going to move on and trust any of my friends again after this. Potential Dive said, "You move on from that friendship and tell her not to contact you. There is no way she can explain it, and you just cannot trust her anymore." To this, a deleted user said, "Seriously, she was so jealous of your life, OP, that she threw away your friendship just for the chance that she could ruin it all for you. I would completely cut contact with her and be very honest with any mutual friends about what happened." Another deleted user said, "Appreciate your man, honey. He is doing his best to comfort you, even though it was him who was grabbed. Show him the same love right back. Make him his favorite foods and just be there for him. I know you are, but make sure he knows it." Update. After reading a lot of the comments, I realized that it was possible my husband was having an affair with my best friend and that he knew about the camera and acted accordingly to make sure I did not suspect anything. Her running out of the house crying, my husband showing me the footage before I asked, and his love bombing would all make sense if he was cheating with my best friend. I cannot be with a cheater, and I had to make sure my husband was loyal to me. On a side note, I made sure that my husband was okay and well after being forcibly kissed, and he said he was fine and did not feel assaulted. It was just a kiss. He said that he was just worried about me because he knew how much this friendship meant to me. Over the weekend, I looked through my husband's phone and laptop while he was doing yard work. Both of us have full access to each other's phones, and I did not find anything out of the ordinary on my husband's phone. I checked his messages, WhatsApp, social media, and deleted messages folder. There was nothing suspicious on his phone or laptop. This morning, after my husband left for work, I arranged for our next door neighbors, a friendly elderly couple, to watch the girls for a couple of hours, and I went to my best friend's place without telling her I was coming. She works afternoon shifts, so I knew she would be there in the morning. She let me in and seemed scared. I demanded to know the truth. She said that she had always been really attracted to my husband and had tried making advances before, but my husband always shut her down. She admitted to being jealous of me and my perfect life with my husband. I should have seen the signs earlier. When our firstborn was learning to speak, my best friend would always try to get her to call her mama. When she held our daughter for the first time, she accidentally sat in my husband's lap. She has been trying to replace me for years and I never noticed, and my husband kept rejecting her advances because he only wanted me. She said that she had drunk more than she should have at the barbecue and decided to try her luck when she saw my husband was going inside alone. I forced her to show me her phone as well, and again, there was nothing implying an affair. All the messages appeared to line up with my husband's phone, so I knew there was nothing deleted or manipulated. She apologized profusely and asked me not to end our friendship over this. I told her that she is nothing to me, that she could have been happy for me, and that I treated her like a sister all these years just for her to try and steal my life. Now, I know for sure that my husband never cheated, but the guilt for doubting him is eating me up. If I tell him that I snooped through his phone and laptop and met up with my ex-best friend to verify that he was not cheating, it is going to impact our marriage and he will be very disappointed in me for not trusting him. If anything, he will lose his trust in me. If I do not tell him, the guilt is going to continue eating me up. I have never lied or kept secrets from him before, and I do not want to start now, but this is an impossible choice. He has only ever shown me how much he loves and cherishes me, and he does not deserve to be betrayed like this. I will update more when I tell him the truth. Update 2. I told my husband everything, that I looked through his phone and laptop and that I confronted my ex-best friend. I showed him both Reddit posts and told him that even the few comments that speculated he was having an affair made me paranoid and I acted on it. I apologized to him for doubting him and thanked him for always being an amazing husband, for always turning down her advances and for spoiling me, especially when I was down. He said that he understands and that he should have told me earlier about her trying her luck before. I'm also starting therapy next week to figure out my paranoia and trust issues, to process the end of my friendship, and in general to try to get into a better mental space so I can be better as an individual, wife, and mother. Edit 2. That post pretending to be my husband is not my husband. This next post was made in the AITA subreddit by a user named Alarm Sorbet. The post is titled, "My GF wants my social security number so she can run a background check on me. I am a 27-year-old man who has been in a relationship with my 31-year-old girlfriend for almost a year now. This evening, she sat me down and said she needed to have a serious conversation with me, and then she asked for my social security number. I said absolutely not, and asked why she would need that. She told me about her ex-boyfriend who was basically living a double life. He had a bunch of criminal charges in his past that he had never told her about, and eventually exposed her to some sketchy and dangerous behavior before she broke things off after he cheated. I said, okay, thank you for telling me that, but what does that have to do with my social security number? She said that ever since then, she has had her friend who works for the federal government run background checks on people to make sure they are safe, and because our relationship is progressing, she needs to know I am a safe partner for her, so she wants my social security number to check my criminal history. For the record, I do not even have a parking ticket. I am a nerd and a gym rat. All I do is work, go to school, play Dungeons and Dragons, come home, watch anime, rinse and repeat. So I do not care about a background check, she will not find anything, but I am not giving out my social security number. I do not feel comfortable providing that to her friend. When I said that, she got upset and said I do not understand what women go through and that it is about safety. I admitted she is right. I have no idea what women go through, but that does not mean I am giving my social security number out to a complete stranger. She said he is not a stranger. He is one of her best friends and married to a close friend of hers. I said, honey, that's great, but I do not know him. I do not trust him because I do not know him. That is my information you are asking for. You can trust him with your personal information if you want, but no one I do not know is getting my social security number or any other critical details. It is just not happening. She said that our relationship is not going to be able to progress unless I give him my social security number because she needs to know she is safe, and she is offended that I do not trust her taste in friends. I got up and left at that point and told her I respect her concerns, but her past trauma does not give her the right to try to strong arm me into giving out sensitive information to someone I do not know just because he works for the federal government and has access to a database. I used to work for the federal government, so I can say from experience that not everyone working there is a wonderful person. I am not assuming he is a monster or anything, but just working for the feds does not prove anything to me. She called me insensitive and has not spoken to me since. Personally, I feel like she was gaslighting me into giving her what she wants, but I am not sure. Update. After reading the comments I have been getting over the last few days, I decided to call her on New Year's Eve and give things one last chance because I am the type of person who needs to know I did everything I could before I walk away from a relationship. Some people said she has valid concerns, she just went about them the wrong way, which made sense. I told her I understand and respect her need to ensure her safety, but I am not willing to potentially compromise my safety to make her feel safe by handing over my social security number to someone I do not know and do not trust. It is illegal for him to even use a federal database for personal reasons. So that is out, but what I will do is pay for a background check of her choosing so long as it is a legitimate service and give her the results. I will not be providing my social security number to anyone, but my address, date of birth, and so on are all fair game. She refused and said that she has chosen a background check and that is having her friend do it because she knows she can trust him. So I said if that is how she feels and she will not budge, then the issue here is trust, and I am not willing to stay in a relationship with a woman who does not trust me because of something that does not have anything to do with me. I am not paying for another man's sins, and I am not giving her my social security number because her ex was a criminal. She started crying and asking why I cannot understand that it is not about me, it is about her. I said she made it about me when she asked for my social security number. She got upset and started accusing me of lying about caring about her safety, saying that if I really cared, then I would have no problem doing this because I do not understand how vulnerable women are in society. I said I was willing to work with her up to a reasonable point, but now she is just trying to manipulate me, and I do not feel safe being with her anymore. If this is how she reacts when she does not get her way about having my social security number, what will happen the next time we have a major disagreement or a serious situation comes up? Is she going to keep crying to try and get her way, or throw out another ultimatum to try and force me into doing what she wants? She started saying that as a man, I cannot understand what it is like to go through life as a woman and have to be afraid, and that this is what she has to do for her safety and security, and I need to just respect that and give her what she needs for her comfort. I replied that I tried to compromise and she would not accept it, so there is nothing more to say here. To be clear, I was not exactly calm. I have severe anxiety, so this was a really hard conversation for me to have. I was actively pacing around my house, sweating and forcing words out the entire time. Then she started crying and asking about New Year's because we were supposed to spend it with her parents. I said she should have thought about that before she tried to strong arm me into getting her way. This is not an and everyone stood up and applauded moment. That is just how things went. I hung up and now we are over. Obviously, I am hurt, but I am realizing I dodged a bullet because there is no reason things should have gotten this messy. And before anyone tries to jump me in the comments, again, I offered to pay for the check. She refused because it was not the test she wanted. I feel like I made a good faith effort to resolve things. Hate to ring in the new year without a kiss under the mistletoe, but it is what it is. I do not know if she really is that concerned I am some lunatic criminal or if she is trying to scam me like a lot of you said. Either way, it is over now. Cutie Bow Booty said she was absolutely trying to steal his credit or commit fraud. It had nothing to do with her safety. If it did, she would not have waited a year into their relationship to run that background check. If it was about her sense of safety, then a background check through a company of her choosing should have been fine. I doubt this friend is even real, or if they are, I doubt they agreed to her plan at all. OP 100% dodged a nuke there. Zool said either she has serious emotional problems or she was trying to scam him. Either way, I am glad he got out of that relationship. This third post was made by a user named Main Copy and is titled, "How do I repair my relationship with my boyfriend and his family?" I made a suggestion to a sister that was misunderstood. So I have been in a relationship with my boyfriend, who we will call G, for about 2 years. He has 3 younger siblings. M, 23 years old, A, 21 years old, and T, 19 years old. All of them are still in college and live at home with their mother, 55 years old, and father, 55 years old, while my boyfriend and I rent an apartment. This summer, they will be celebrating their 30th wedding anniversary in France, where they had their wedding. They plan on getting first-class tickets, a high-end hotel, and so on. One night, G and I were supposed to have dinner with his family. While we were at their house, T mentioned how excited she was for this summer and all the things they plan to do in France. As this is an anniversary trip for her parents, I suggested to T that she could do her parents a favor and maybe stay back home, out of their hair, to give her parents some time away from their kids this summer. Alternatively, she could pay her own way so her parents could save money. T asked me why she would give up a trip to France, and I told her it would be a nice gesture for her parents' anniversary. I kept trying to tell her how nice it would be and how her parents would probably thank her for giving them space. At some point, M interrupted us and told me to stop meddling in family affairs, that I was overstepping, and to either apologize for pressuring T or to leave the house. I told him I did not mean to make anyone upset. But when their dad came into the room and asked them what was wrong, they told him everything. He then asked me to leave his house and said I probably should not come back anytime soon because I was overstepping, and he found it rude that I was making up a problem and pressuring T to solve it. G and I went back to our apartment and we have not been speaking since. Where do I go from here? Edit for more information. The others are invited, but they are older, so I assume they can just go do their own thing. I am not obsessed with their financial situation. I just think it is important that T starts making money on her own so she can value it more. She is used to getting her hair, nails, and sometimes makeup done and paid for, not to mention how many products she buys for her hair and sanitary products. It will hit her hard how much this stuff costs when she is older, so why not start learning that now? Update. Last night, my boyfriend G and I had a long and serious talk about my comments at dinner, along with some of my past comments. He told me that while in my family, refusing a free trip when you are invited may be seen as noble. In his family, refusing a free trip is seen as stupid. In my family, if someone offers to pay for you, you should always decline no matter what. My parents made me work all throughout high school and always told me I would have to get a scholarship to help pay for college because they were not going to do it. It is also a courtesy in my family not to expect help with finances, no matter how tough it may get, to only eat one serving at dinner gatherings, to always pay your own way, and we often voice our opinions no matter what they are. He then went into discussing the trip to France. His mother has extended family who live there, so this will not be the first or last time they all go. It will be the first time they explore the area where they got married. So even if T was not old enough to go off on her own or did not know her way around or the language, she would be just fine. And if his mom and dad wanted alone time, she would be just fine on her own, even if they did not have family there. When G and I first started dating and we were talking about our family history, he told me about how his maternal great-great-grandparents moved to America from France. I was under the impression that everyone from his mother's extended family had moved, not just the great-great-grandparents and their children. Apparently, his mother thought my behavior was because I did not feel welcome by them, and the dinner was to invite me on the France trip as a sort of peace offering. However, after his father caught me trying to sway T, he had had enough and decided that no matter what his wife said, he would not tolerate me being around the rest of the family or in their home any longer. This came as a shock to the family, as his dad does not speak much and is usually calm and composed. My boyfriend also showed me his photos from his parents' wedding. It looked like one of the most fairy tale-like weddings I had ever seen. It was held at Chateau Chalin, and he explained how they plan on renting the space again and flying all of their extended family out to celebrate with them because they want to celebrate with everybody and will take time for themselves later on in the summer. I also teared up listening to how his parents met. After graduating high school, his mother spent the summer in France with her family while his dad was visiting along with his older brother. His dad had struggled with cancer nearly his entire life up to that point, and it was supposed to be his dad's last trip before he let himself go because he was tired of all of it. One morning while eating alone at a cafe, his father recognized her as the most beautiful girl he had ever seen. Someone who spent her time helping out her family with their restaurant, running it like it was the Navy. Someone who was not afraid to call customers out when they were being unreasonable or just downright rude, and someone who knew exactly what she wanted and how to get it. The complete opposite of him. They spent the day together, which inspired his father to continue his cancer treatment, accomplish his goals, and start taking life more seriously so he could be by her side for as long as she would have him. His parents always told him and his siblings that the only thing in life they value more than each other are their children, and they want to make sure if life ever gets hard for them, they have something to fall back on. He told me he would be moving back in with his parents until he can find a new apartment. He also revoked my invitation to their family Christmas trip to Aspen, which we were supposed to be leaving for tonight. I feel like I am in a Dhar Mann video right now. What the fuck? On another note, my friend saw my initial post and gave me an intervention. I will be attending therapy for the foreseeable future. I may update when I unpack what is wrong with me. Edit for info. People seem to be confused. When I say his father recognized his mother in France, I mean that literally, as they are from the same hometown. Some people also think I am saying love cured his father's cancer. I was told that it was what made him continue treatment. That is all I was told. I have also gotten comments about the years of the Chateau Chalin becoming a wedding venue and the wedding not making sense. Unless I am misremembering something, I remember him saying they were married there. Maybe I am mixing up the locations when he was talking about the wedding venue and the wedding anniversary venue. Starry Night said OP did not write it, but it is very obvious that she was acting out before the comments to the sister. In the update, she says they thought her behavior was because she felt left out, and that they had her over for dinner to invite her in order to make her feel better, but the dad caught her talking to his daughter and changed his mind. Clearly, they were having issues with her before the whole sister conversation even happened. Inconspicuous Echoes said, wow, not a modicum of self-awareness. Also, what the hell with all the backstory? He dumped you because you are a nightmare who cannot read a room and acclimate. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, Gamersupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.